Good morning and welcome to a conversation about Nevada Reading Week 2021. My name is Beate and I'm with the Washoe County Library System. And I was on the Nevada Reading Week committee for quite a number of years when we were still offering annual conferences. And when the state graciously took over the central oversight of Nevada Reading Week, I was invited to participate in that. Full disclosure, I was not a super active participant. It was that our meetings were taking place when we were trying to figure out our virtual events, but I really appreciated being part of the conversation and getting to know Darryl. So I'll pass the mic to Darryl.
Well, thank you for this conversation. It's certainly been an interesting year. So this is the first year that we have kind of rekindled, I guess I would say, a state level committee for Nevada Reading Week. And that was in the midst of COVID. So I had people who were willing to join. That committee includes people across the state. So I don't know how many people here are just representative of the northern area or Washoe County School District, but really the viewpoint of the state is to include members of public librarians, and folks across the whole state. So in my role, I look at representation from Washoe County, Clark County, and all of our rurals, as well as representative of Nevada Department of Education. So the committee at the state is a little different. I know that and recognize that there are local committees that have existed for a long time as well. So really, this is an idea of bringing everyone together. In Clark County, our library director there is Robert Jones, and he represents kind of all of Clark County. And then I've recently invited Holly Esposito, who is with Washoe County, and she will represent Washoe County and be our voice moving forward for communications through Washoe. And this year we have established the theme. That theme is statewide, so we gather stakeholder input from across the state, and I'm hoping to include and expand that next year. We held an art contest in Clark. It has been the tradition to hold an art contest every year, and so I asked if we'd be willing to open that up to the whole state. Because what happened in the past is Clark would run a really great art contest, and then they'd have a logo, but I certainly couldn't share it out really statewide. It was shared out with the North, but I'm not clear where that logo went for the rest of the state. So it's exciting. We all came together and we held the art contest. We have a logo. We have an opportunity across the state for people to get shirts. And we created some book lists. And now here we are. I just learned too that the official Nevada Reading Week, March 1st through 5th, is the first week back in Clark, I know, and then other places is face-to-face. So our committee, Beate, knows we come together this week to think about some additional ways that we might support Nevada Reading Week. I held a session at the Read by Grade 3 conference where the audience was mostly teachers. So I thought about ways to extend books that could be school-based or classroom-based, but really I think, I've rambled on long enough. So really I want to hear from you and think about, what would you like from us at the state level committee? How can we include more voices? Secondary, definitely we need to do more. We have a book list, but I don't know that the plans we have engages secondary quite as much. So with that, I just want to hear from folks about, what can our committee do to facilitate a successful Nevada Reading Week, keeping in mind that we are in a pandemic and we don't want to, our intention is certainly not to really stress out people and add lots and lots of layers. So do know that as well.
Darryl, do you mind if we just do, since there's only 18 of us, do you mind if we do quick introductions and I don't know, maybe a quick introduction of where you are and maybe one quick little snippet of what you've done with Nevada Reading Week, or if you haven't, would that be okay? Do we have time for that, Sulin, do you think?
I think so. I think it would
Okay.
be, because I recognize half the names here, so it would, I'm sure if it would be nice. Yeah.
So I don't know if I can see everything. So do you want to call people out, Sue Lynn? The way my
Yes.
screen is, I'm not sure if I can see
Yes.
everybody. Is that okay?
I will, absolutely.
Call them out.
Well, we can start with me a little bit. I work at the state library, and I am brand new to even knowing about Nevada Reading Week, even though I should have. So this is good. We at the state try and serve as conveners and getting information out. I do have something to share, but I don't know if you want to wait until after for that part, or should I just share now? Up to you.
I say go for it.
Okay. Well,
This is fairly informal in my mind.
Yeah, right? Fluid.
at the state library, feel free to contact me anytime. I'll put my info in chat, and then we can get the message out to everyone. But one of the things that we have available to everybody, every single person in the state, are our statewide databases. And we have a statewide database that is dedicated just to books and reading, and it's teaching books on the school side, and it's called Book Connections on the library side. It's the exact same thing, it's just got a different interface. And we took the Nevada Reading Week list of fiction titles, and we created some reading lists, and I'm going to share that screen.
Wow. This is fantastic, because tomorrow I present to NDE internal staff, and I think this is a resource I shared at the Read by Grade 3 conference. What I learned was that it's so underutilized by educators. So this is just going to be so helpful.
Yes. So this is what we have. We have your nonfiction books. The lists are actually still being built, but this one has been built. And it's got the titles, right? And all of these titles, whatever you choose to do as your programming, there are resources that go with it, right? So if you have the book Dreamers in your library, or your students are reading it, it's got 67 different resources. And if you click on it, author interviews about the author, book trailers, what else we got? Activity guides, lesson plans, right? So all of the nonfiction, all of the fiction titles, we have resources that complement it. A lot of them have little snippets of the author introducing themselves, telling about what prompted them to write this, and they're all totally shareable. You can share all of these in any way you want. And if we go back to the list, oops, a little bit too far in, right? So here's the list. You can share like the entire list somehow. You can get a bookmark or a flyer or a QR code. If you need shelf talkers, I don't know if you're in person, but you can print out little shelf talkers to go with it. Right, so I encourage you to just dig around into teaching books and plug in some of the titles. And I will have the direct links to the lists soon. So that's what I have to share.
Okay. So Lynn, that is so amazing, and exactly why I love how we as a state are pulling together and working together better. Are you going to send that out to all of us so that we can freely share it, like with our counterparts at our school partners?
You can freely share any of it, like you can. But I will send you the links as soon as I get them, because they're building them. They just built that one this morning. So
that looks great.
I will send it. I tend to send things to my personal school library list and my public library youth services list. And so you may not be on there. The way that this is set up right now, this meeting, I don't have any of your emails because it was just a drop-in. So I don't know how to fix that, but here's my email. So I will send it to my list And then if you don't get it, you ask me. Will that work? Anyway, I'm just going to
Thank you.
connections. Okay, so that was me. Then we'll just keep moving on. And the next person I see, if you're ready, is Jess McDermott at Churchill County Library.
Hi. Like she said, I'm from Churchill County Library. I just wanted to say I use teaching books all the time. When I choose a book for story time, I'll always look there first to see if there's any activities or anything I can use. And then sometimes I'll go there first before I've even chosen a book. So I really like teaching books. I've used it a lot. And I put the bookmarks in different books, especially for the young adults. I did that last spring when we kind of opened back up or last summer when we kind of opened back up. But that's something I plan to use again in the future too. So thanks for that.
Jess, have you done much? I think Churchill has done quite a bit with Nevada Reading Week over the years, right? Because you have a good relationship with your partners at the school district.
Yeah, we do. We always have tried to sponsor something. I think I did a lot of Dr. Seuss last year, or the year before. No, maybe it was last year. I don't remember. But anyway, I remember doing a lot with the STEAM Club after school program with Dr. Seuss. And I think I even had like a reading challenge or something. And this year I'm just trying to come up with something I can put in packets to go out for that week. Something I haven't decided. I have a couple ideas, but that's kind of what I'm looking at doing this week. And I'm also thinking about reading a chapter book that week.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Like a chapter a day or
Maybe a couple. The book I've got is The Wild Robot I've been looking at. And so it would be like, probably 5 or 6 chapters a day. But yeah, just to see how that, I've been wanting to try that. And so I thought, well, that might be a good time to try it.
And you want to do that virtually?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Thanks, Jess.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, well, the next person I see is Judy with Washoe. Do you want to chime in, or should we? Yeah. Unmute yourself.
You're muted, Judy.
Unmute.
I do that all the time. Judy with Washoe, and I'm here to support, of course, Nevada Reading Week and Beate, and we're super excited. We have all kinds of things planned as well. And I also love teaching books. I've featured some of the video recordings of the, there's not as many of those where they read the entire book, but they're very well done. And I featured some of those for different celebrations throughout the year in our newsletter. And I'm also looking forward to the in-depth training that Sue Lynn set out recently for teaching books. So that's coming up. Just remember that as a resource too. And I have participated in Nevada Reading Week throughout the years with, before COVID, when it was more in person. And I just think anytime you can celebrate our state literacy and promoting reading is a great thing. And I love the theme this year. And, I don't know. I think for kids, what they really need right now is just to know that they can read and enjoy reading and relax, and that it is a way to combat all the negativity and everything, and that they can create their own worlds within the books and, learn things too while they're doing it. So I just think anything like this, it's so positive, and I'm just happy to be here. Hi. I'll mute now. I'm always worried that someone's going to make noise with the dogs.
Okay. Well, I see Marilyn Bennett as my next square.
I'm Marilyn Bennett. I'm located in Washoe. I'm a librarian at Hug High School. I'm located at home this year, and so trying to support from home the library at Hug High School.
And Marilyn, you don't get off that easy. You need to share some of your fun, creative ways that you have integrated Nevada Reading Week with your high school kids.
Thanks. Sorry.
As Darrell said, that is always the hardest age range, as we've talked about for years on our committee, Marilyn, but it continues. It's just hard. And so So you've done great things at Hug. So pick something. Pick your
No.
favorite. Share.
I've done struggle at Hug. So what I am hoping for is to be able to do a spirit week, because high school spirit weeks often will engage kids. Things, and I'm working with leadership to do this. So they're going to tell me their ideas, and I'm going to tell them my ideas, and so hoping for people dressed up like literary characters, or having a science fiction day one day and a historical fiction another day, and something similar to that. And then I felt like I probably could make a recording of me reading some of those books, not the entire book, but a 2-minute recording that then can be shared in the English classes, or any classes that felt like sharing it. But I'm imagining that English classes is where that would be.
You delivered, my friend.
I like the dress up idea.
Love that.
I would do that. All right, I see Shauna from the Wells Library.
Hello. Took me a minute to get my cursor down to the unmute button. I am from the Wells Combined Schools. I am the acting librarian right now. Debbie Miller retired last year. And so this is my first experience with Nevada Reading Week. So I thought I would just drop in and see if I could get any ideas from all of you.
Shauna, do you have you worked with libraries before? So not to put you on the spot, but if you have something fun to share that we could incorporate somehow.
Actually, all I have done is I substituted for Debbie last year. And then I'm here this year, and that's it. That's all my experience.
But what a year it was last year. So you
Right?
garnered a lot of experience. Well, and you come with fresh perspective then. So I bet you have a lot of great ideas brewing.
Oh, no, my mind is kind of blank right now.
Well, you have friends among you.
Thank you.
Reach out.
Okay, I see a Lori who is not the Lori from White Pine.
No, I'm Lori Wagren. I'm at Swope in Washoe County. Yay! Swope is a middle school, and this is only my second year in middle school, and I have yet to do a reading week. So I wanted to join today to try and get some ideas. I have probably 7 or 8 years doing reading weeks with elementary, and we did all kinds of fun activities. I always try to hit every subject area, like try and do something with science, something with reading, something with history, social studies, math. But I just need ideas for middle school. So that's why I'm here today.
Great to see you, Lori.
You too, Beate.
All right, next up is Maya Delgado. Are you able to unmute?
Hello, hello. There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Maya, and I'm from Washoe County Libraries as well. Let's see, can you guys hear me? Not sure if my thing is plugged in. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So again, with Washoe County Libraries, I haven't done anything with Nevada Reading Week specifically as a librarian. I do have a few vague memories from when I was in high school, the reading week popping up in my school library, and then my sister and I trying to read as many books as we could in that week. I think she beat me at getting about 4 or 5 one time. So I love books, I love reading, so anything with those words and I'm in. And really I just want to see with this meeting, like what the ideas are coming up. I have some younger cousins in school right now, so I'm trying to make them into readers. So anything I can push them into with any events or anything, I'm gonna go for it.
So Maya, and feel free to say that is none of your business, Beate, but you mentioned fond memories of high school. So your high school librarian must have done a pretty interactive job with Nevada Reading Week. Do you want to share some of those
I think
ideas? I won't ask you which high school. I'll let you share that if you wish, but what do you remember them doing?
I went to Sparks High School, and from what I can remember, I think my school
Miss
librarian.
Carnes.
Miss Carnes, yes. Miss Carnes, yes. About 5 years ago, I think, is when I graduated. But my sister and I were just the readers of the school, and we participated in the Read for the Ride event. Have you heard of that? From Sparks High School, Patty McClelland. Well, there's this big event every year at Sparks High School. My sister and I participated in it all 4 years of our high school. But for every student who read one book, and then we take an AR test, and we get raffle tickets. Those raffle tickets would go in at the end of the year to win a car. Our junior and senior year, there was 2 cars up for grabs. And because me and my sister just read so much, we ended up, well, in total, we won 3 cars in 4 years. But we were just so in love with reading. Miss Carnes would see us every week, a few days a week, doing AR tests. So she would always make sure to give us the most up-to-date books that were out there, that were coming out. It was a good time.
So as you know, Miss Carnes was a very active member of Nevada Reading Week for years and years, and she also has been part of a huge piece of this Nevada Reading Week committee with Darl now. So I can't wait to tell her about what you shared. And Darl, I think we need to up the ante here. I think we need to find some cars.
Oh my gosh, those cars were awesome. But yeah, if I just mentioned like the twins or Maya and Zena, she's sure to remember us if she saw us practically every day.
We'll pass that along to her.
Perfect.
You won cars, like actual cars?
Yeah, so in my sophomore year, I won the car. My sister and I were always competing to see which one of us would win. I won it my sophomore year, and then I couldn't drive at that time, so I sold it for college money, just for my college fund. And then senior year, they had 2 cars. One was from Patty McClellan, the one who does Read for the Ride. The second one was something with City of Sparks, that if she donated a car, they would donate a car. So the first raffle ticket was my name, and then the second one, they're just like, guess who? And then you just hear the whole auditorium go, Zena and Maya, because we were just known as the readers for the whole school. I heard people say like, why am I even gonna try to read if the twins are just gonna win everything?
It's a twin thing.
It is, yes.
Sibling rivalry, twin thing, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Darl, we're gonna hold Janet up here, and we need to take advantage of her resources.
I don't even know what to think. Like, you can win a car just for reading. That's pretty it's pretty intense.
Seriously. And Darl, you were muted. What did you say?
Oh, I just said that Janet has not mentioned any cars on any committee meeting we've had. Maybe she didn't want to scare me off right away, but I have not heard anything about a car. So
Yeah,
good. No.
Read for the Ride, and it was hosted by Patty McClelland. I'm not sure if it's still going on since it's been about 5 years since I graduated, but that was the highlight of my high school years.
I just talked to the Sparks librarian yesterday, or the library assistant there, and yes, it is still going on. And yes! I think the reason that you haven't heard Janet mention it is it's not specifically tied to Nevada Reading Week. Mm-hmm. It is just something that Patty McClellan has done wherever she has been. When she used to be at Hug High School, they would do Read for the Ride. But that's been many years ago, maybe 20, I don't remember, a long time ago. And so now Sparks gets the benefit of her efforts.
And what an honor for Washoe County Library to have a student that Miss Carnes worked so well with. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Maya.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll go ahead and mute myself for the next person.
All right. I see a Melissa Cree. Melissa, want to share some ideas with us?
Oh no, where's my
Looks like you're at school.
I am sorry, I'm trying to switch my camera around here.
That makes me homesick for the classroom.
Well, I don't know what's up with my camera, but I'm Melissa Cry, and I am Washoe County School District, Rita Cannon Elementary School. I've been the librarian here at Rita Cannon this is my 4th year, and I love it. It's awesome. And I love working with Linda Mitchell and Holly Esposito. They're a great crew to work with. I'm still trying to figure out my camera here, guys. I'm really not trying to hide myself, but I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, Reading Week is a big deal at our school. And we are, I'm loving the theme this year, Change the World. I think that's a huge positive for the state and for our kids. I've just began starting my itinerary for the week, and we're lucky enough to work directly with Spread the Word Nevada. They offer their services for reading volunteers during the week of Spread the Word. So this year they're going to be zooming in and reading to the classes during my reading times for my library slots. But I have done that with them for a couple years. We used Pause for Love last year. They came in 2-3 times a week, or during the week, I should say. And they read with the kids. Then we have a Spirit Week. And we've done in the past Spirit Weeks, including like Dr. Seuss Day, where they dress up on Dr. Seuss Day. We've done Crazy Sock, Crazy Hat, Cowboy, sports theme, you name it, we've done it. This year, we are going to focus in, I think, on kindness being our change of the world. And I found an idea online of holding a kindness challenge week. And so we are going to, I think so far, I'm having a leadership meeting tomorrow or Thursday, but we are doing a what if week. So dressing up, what if we practice positivity? We wear pink or purple. What if we serve others? We wear camouflage or superhero cape. Wednesday, what if we would not judge others by how they look, wear funky glasses, funky clothes, that kind of thing. What if we stand up for one another, like our school spirit shirts, that type of thing. And what if we make no excuses, and maybe they can do like college wear. They want to go to college and they wear some UNR stuff or whatever. So that's what I'm hoping for this year as far as Spirit Week dressing up, is just kind of giving theme to each day. The other thing we run every week is a bookmark contest every reading week. My kids, we offer it up to kindergarten through 5, and they design bookmarks, and we have admin choose the bookmark for their winner, for a winner each week, and we give a big prize package. And we do a reading level competition for grade and class schedule. So as a grade level, they compete, and then the grade level gets like an ice cream party or whatever at the end. Individuals get like a prize package, a little book deal that I put together. And then we have daily mystery reader, and we have stop, drop, and read. So we have a daily mystery reader who reads, and the kids guess it and put their names in a hat. And we're able to give out prizes for the winners of those. And stop, drop, and read. They have to, when they hear a sound during the day, anytime during the day, they have to stop, drop, and read for 5 or 10 minutes. So I guess that's it, but I'm throwing it all at you to let you know what we do at Cannon. I love Reading Week, and we usually run Reading Week into my book, what am I trying to say? The book fair is what I usually run it into. So I have reading week and then book fair right after. But this year we're not opting to do book fair, so it's a little bit different. But anyway, that's what it's all about. Sorry to take up so much time, but I was excited to share a bunch of that stuff with y'all. And I'm glad you guys are having the meeting.
Melissa, I think I appreciate all of your sharing, especially around the theme and, you know, Kindness Week and I think that's really great. And I definitely want to hear from everybody else, but I wonder if this might be, I shared a few sort of activities related to the theme. I definitely don't have a car to give away and I don't have any prizes at the state level to give out. But so when I shared out activity ideas, you know, dressing up is fun, but I can't really, you know, ask everyone across the state necessarily to dress up either. So I kind of went with more of the theme ideas. So I wonder if it would be okay if I got your feedback and just shared a couple of the ideas sort of along the same lines of what you're doing with all of you for a moment or two. Would that be okay?
Be great.
And then I'm open to your feedback because it's, I think it's a little different direction maybe than, and I'm not going to go through every slide, but my audience at the Read by Grade 3 conference was a teacher audience. And so I thought about, you know, here's our mission and, you know, holding book fairs is probably not going to be very feasible this year. But one of the things that I thought about was, I'm going to move forward from our lists. The books are at grassroots. I think you all know that. One of the connections I tried to make that I don't know if a librarian could do, but certainly a teacher could do, is bringing in family literacies a little bit, because I get asked a lot in my position about what are the connections to families. This is a book that I like. It's No More Culturally Irrelevant Teaching. And it's a really short book and it kind of gives some actionable ways. This would take a little bit of planning and might need I can send you some of the pointers out of the book, because if you have students who are in foster care or so on, it might need to be shifted a little bit. But it's based on the book Elma, and it's not one of the extensions on teaching books, but it's from No More Culturally Irrelevant Teaching. And what these authors did is they asked for families to share their family literacies in terms of family name stories. And so they gave the students a little sentence stem. So this one is blank is my name. So this one is Nevaeh is my name. No, Nevaeh is the same. Read along to find what my name is all about. That could be shifted to read along to find out what I'm all about if kids don't know the histories of their name. But it's a way to bring in some family stories, you know, how did you get your name? And I worked with a teacher a couple of years ago and she published them in print. And so the idea here is one way to change your world is to get to know the community that you are in, and name stories are one way that that can be done. And some teachers have published them on Padlet as well. And then I heard you say, Melissa, about just acts of kindness. And I think this particular theme this year, and it's a little hard, I know, with a pandemic, but there are some books that really invite readers to engage in social action. So in my mind, if, you know, students engaged in even a mini little social action project, writing about letters about, you know, world issues like this or whatever, that's just a really meaningful way to celebrate Nevada Reading Week. I mean, I definitely know that it takes more planning than dressing up as a character, but this is kind of the lines that I was getting people to think along, you know, social action project within your own little community or school even. And then all of the books out there have great impactful quotes around this theme. So I know door decorating has been very popular in the past. So I thought this is one where kids could collect impactful quotes and then, you know, display them on either a virtual reading wall.
So
these are something. Pardon me? this is something that could even be tweeted out to your local librarian. What is a quote out of a book that has moved you, right? What is speaking to you in these books? Share that with your public librarian, your school librarian. And then I think it's an opportunity to set some goals. I'd love to hear from kids, what are their goals? I can't give them a car, but I would love to know what are their goals, what do they want to read by the end of the year? And this is drawn from No More Reading from Jug, which is a book I like. It's in that No More series. And if we could get kids hooked on reading, I'd love to know, a little bit about their reading lives. So this is a virtual sociogram, and you can change the stems to anything you want. So I thought this might be an opportunity for distance learners to get involved, right? This is an example of a visual interview for younger students. This is Sarah's visual interview, her favorite book, what she wants to read next. So that's another example. And then of course, Nevada Young Readers Award, I shared that with everyone. So that's all I have, but that's kind of the direction I went in sharing with teachers. So any feedback you have would be helpful. I didn't really make lists of activities like, dress up as characters and so on. So, but I like the idea. Do we want to move forward with hearing from others?
Sorry, I've got some conversation going on in my background here. Darrell, that was awesome. Is that what you shared at the Read by 3 conference you said?
It is. And my audience was a teacher, teacher audience more so than, I don't know that I had any librarian attend, but just some ways that teachers might engage.
That was awesome. So it was really good to hear from Melissa from the school library perspective, and then from yours and the classroom, and how those can be merged. Shall we go on intro and sharing, Sulin? Because I like hearing everybody's ideas. Is that working for everybody?
I'm sorry, I was trying to find an activity that I know exists, and I will find it in a bit. But the next person I see is Lori Williams from White Pine County Library.
Hi, I'm Lori. For Nevada Reading Week, we really don't have set plans. Thinking about maybe doing reading for fines that week, and definitely want to do the shelf talkers sometime, and that might be the week we put those out. We've used talking books a lot. We put those in all of our kits over the summer, and the kids enjoyed that. So that's about all we have planned so far.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
Robin Posniak.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Great. I'm Robin from the Washoe County Library System. I work as the library assistant at the Northwest Reno branch. I think, like Maya, I haven't got too much experience with Nevada Reading Week. I do remember, it seems like a very long time ago, even though it was probably this time last year, going to some of our local elementary schools and bouncing around between classes and just reading some of my favorite books. I think I probably would have been more involved with our branch programmers in some of the planning, but then obviously the pandemic happened, so I haven't had the opportunity to kind of get really involved in that aspect. So yeah, I'm just here to steal everyone's great ideas.
Thank you, Robin. Sulin, before we go to the next live conversation, Jamie McCombs, sorry if I butchered her name, but she shared in the chat, or actually Jamie could be, pardon my gender insensitivity. So Jamie shared what they did or what they're shooting for. Can everyone see that? So Monday, anyone can change the world. Tuesday, books can change the world, be Dr. Seuss. Wednesday, women can change the world. Thursday, science, medicine can change the world. Friday, kids can change the world. All books activities shared all week with focus on these topics. And I don't know if Jamie is still with us, but they had the privilege of getting to go read to their first grade class. So there you go. I'm jealous. I wanted to make sure everyone saw that.
I love it.
Thank you, Beata. I wasn't looking at chat. That was my bad.
It's hard to when you're hosting, so I got you covered, girl.
Those are great ideas. Great ideas.
There's a person named Owner. I'm not sure who that is, but if you'd like to share. If not, we can skip on to Holly Esposito.
Good morning. Hello. So I am the library facilitator for Washoe County School District, and it's my job to support all the librarians and communicate with them for the whole district. And our kind of focus I'd like to see is focus on developing a love of reading for all students across the board. And some of the things I've seen people do is and what we're going to do for Washoe County is we do a Teams chat, usually monthly. And so this focused Teams chat is for a chance for all the librarians to get on Teams and share ideas. We have a couple separate channels for sharing read alouds, for sharing ideas, for sharing lessons, just another way to communicate and get ideas. We also have a read aloud channel where they can share their read alouds, and somebody's idea was to share read alouds and for their school to hear a read aloud from another librarian. That way it kind of takes the weight off and you can, utilize other people's resources and not have to reinvent the wheel. Some of the other things I've seen people do is do like a 12 days of books you could do beforehand or during the week of. And this helps include in-person students as well as distance learning students. You can provide links, books links to movies, books linked for ebooks and audiobooks, and promote our Sora, which is our link through the public service overdrive that helps students link to books that are specific to their area. Have students look at book trailers for books, search different genres, and there's all these sorts of genre quizzes that students can take, again, using teacheringbooks.net for author interviews. We have, through our Destiny system, a way for students to share reviews and recommend books to each other. So we can teach them how to do that. There's also Seesaw or other ways, Flipgrid, for students to share book talks across the board, across the school. And I've seen Padlet choice boards for students to go on and kind of pick what they want. And it goes back to what Sue Lynn said about how it incorporates student using the databases to use WorldBook for resources, using Epic or other online book resources that are age appropriate or specific. So those sorts of things. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Holly. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to push the databases again. I just put a link in chat. That's sort of a generic cultural representation form that's buried in teaching books and is not always that easy to find, but it's a project you can do with schools or public libraries. And then also somehow, this would probably fit in really well, WorldBook has a product called Timelines. And you can create your own timelines, right? I was born this day, we got a dog on this day, my neighbors moved in this day. So kids can make their own timelines. And you are all way more creative than I am on figuring out how to use that sort of thing in your activities for Reading Week, but those are out there. Okay, next up, if we're moving down the grid, Bridget Burkhart.
Hi, everybody. I am Bridget Burkhart. I am the librarian at Josie Hall Elementary School in Washoe County. It is my 3rd year in this job, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with Reading Week. We are full-time in person, but our library is a classroom. So we don't have kids coming to the library this year. So I got on to try to find some ideas that I could use virtually or that I can push out to the teachers. One of the things that we're looking at doing is reading or having our teachers read, or maybe I'll do it virtually, some stories about kids that have changed the world, and then having our kids think about and write down ways that they could change the world, and hopefully posting those around our walls of our school. And I really appreciate all the other ideas that everybody's sharing. It's helping a lot. I have a whole page of notes. So
Thank you, Bridget.
That we have a hashtag Nevada Reading Week 2021, and there are some really inspiring ideas that I hope that maybe you could capture a picture of and then tag Nevada Reading Week on using the hashtag on Twitter, so that we can see some of these great ideas in action. I know we have to be careful about putting students' pictures up, but I've heard some great things that I would love to see on social media, so we can share ideas that way too. I'm going to drop in our hashtag.
Sulin, when you do you have a way? Okay, you said you don't have a way to email all of us that are sitting in on this, but
because I didn't capture, this doesn't capture your emails. So if you want to put it in chat.
No, I think it's good if we communicate with you. I think that was the best way. But I'm wondering how, because I'm not as active in social media as I probably should be, but we want to push that out to everybody in the state, the hashtag. So, so Darryl, maybe we can talk about that on Thursday at our committee meeting, and like one more heavy push that can get pushed out to all our various contacts. That includes maybe Sulin's database push and the hashtag and everything else. Sorry, just a little bit of housekeeping there, but that way people that weren't able to join us today and don't get a chance to watch this right away, we can send out a comprehensive email for how to share and all the resources. Okay, so I'll stop.
Hello.
Sorry.
I don't have my camera on. I'm not about to show my.
Oh, I hear Linda.
Yes, you do. Sorry.
Well, then you're up next.
Well, I'm on 2 things. Sorry. So I'm really just kind of trying to listen in. Linda Mitchell, by the way, with Library Services, Washoe County, trying to listen in to see what ideas people are coming up with, just so that we can kind of share it out with all of our librarians, and especially our new ones in Washoe County. So anyway, great to hear all of your ideas, and my screen is off and I'm on another meeting. So thank you, everybody. I'll be seeing all of you soon.
Thanks, Linda.
Well, we're getting close to talking to everybody. Diana Rowell.
Sulin, go back to Mela, because I think Mela was.
Mela Garcia, WCLS. Skipped right over that person.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a bit of a fly on the wall. I just also wanted to hear what everyone's doing. I really love the theme this year a lot. And I really liked Jamie's idea from the chat about breaking it down day by day. And I like what Bridget also said about having the kids write down how they can change the world, and really turning over that self-empowerment, a chance to feel some self-empowerment and agency. I think it's a great opportunity to turn that over to the kids. So I'm thinking about that and what I might be able to do on my end. I'm a librarian with Washoe County Library System. I do a lot of outreach at my service area schools, elementary primarily, also middle, and have had very little success with high school. It's pretty hard. But in past years with Reading Week, we've done a lot of visits, and that's not possible right now. So we're just starting to get some traction with virtual storytime visits. So I'm thinking about how perhaps the teaching books list. And I'm sorry, Sulin, I don't know if is that list going to grow? There's 7 titles on it right now, right?
That list was one that I got from the Reading Week Padlet. There were 7 for that age group that
Okay.
were teaching books, and then there is another list for another age group.
Okay.
But those were from the Reading Week list. Did I miss them?
I really like being able to maybe turn that over to the teachers that I work with and pick a book from there to do a story time visit and just look at the other activities that are already built into it. So anyway, those are just some of the ideas that are bouncing around in my head. I really love hearing what everybody does, and any opportunity to connect with school librarians is really great. So that's it for me.
Thanks, Mela. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Mela. And we do have lists for middle grades and high school as well. So if one of those could be a springboard for you, that's wonderful.
Excellent.
Mela, I think you popped in after Sulin mentioned that the lists on teaching books are just now being built. So she just did the first one.
Awesome.
And those are the lists that I sent out to everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
No worries. I'm not calling you out on that. I just wanted to explain.
And I work with Maya. She's one of my Sierra View and Duncan Trainer staff members. And I have to say, I was totally blown away by that car thing, man. We're always looking at incentivizing things, but that puts things at a whole new level.
Some serious pressure for the committee.
Seriously.
Goodness, I guess so.
I mean, the biggest thing we ever gave away at my library was an MP3 player, right? And it wasn't even like a fancy one. So,
and those were a huge deal.
There's one more person, Leona from Henderson just popped in, and I know you're late to what we're doing. We're just calling on everyone and asking them to share their reading week inspirational ideas, if you have any. Leona.
No, I'm so sorry to be late, but also I have no inspiration. This year has been a little less inspirational than normal. So we were just going to kind of be low key and email our teachers and see if they wanted us to pop in virtually and read, but we don't have any big plans today.
Well, I saw you did a drive-in story time, so I really doubt that you don't have inspiration.
All right, well, in this case, in this instance, I will say there's no inspiration, but we are excited about our drive-in story time, so yay.
And Leona, where are you again? I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Henderson Libraries.
You're at Henderson. Okay, so you work with Betsy?
Yes, Betsy and Bethany.
What is drive-in story time? I have another meeting at 11, but I can't get off without hearing about.
Okay, so we had our first one last Friday. Do I know what day it is? No. Last Friday, and we're going to have them first and third Friday, Saturdays, the same one each day. And we have it set up so we got a radio transmitter so we can transmit to their car radios. So everybody comes in, well, you know, the one time, but in general, they will come and park every other spot. So we have 10 car spots each time. And we have a radio station that we found that was empty. So 106.1 is our radio station. And we stand in the middle, and all of the picture books that we're using are on Hoopla. So they can download beforehand. We send everyone an email with their parking spot number. And they also get to know what books we're reading so that they can download it beforehand if they want to. But we also have 2 copies, and one of us reads while the other one walks. Well, we both hold the book and walk around, and then our iPod connects to the transmitter so we can do music through the radio. So we sing songs and read books, and yeah, so we had our first one and it was successful and very good and everyone was happy. So yeah.
Love.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's actually really low key setup. All you need is the transmitter and like an iPod and we use a wireless mic. So and a mic, that's about it, and a parking lot. So, yeah.
You know, I just have to say that before I go, I'm so inspired by this call and appreciative of the time to just hear from all of you and connect with all of you. And if you send me, I'm going to put it in my email. I don't want you to be afraid to brag about what's going on around the state. I think one of my goals is to just celebrate some of these great things that are going on. So if you send me pictures or anything, I can work toward getting them celebrated and up on the Twitter page or the Facebook page for Nevada Department of Education. So if you just send me like a picture and just a little bit of information about it, I think we need to brag out some of these great things that are happening. I mean, I'm pretty excited, and we have a good theme this year. And please, I'm going to put my and I think that's.
And Darrell, we've appreciated you're a powerful conduit to the Nevada Department of Ed. I mean, you are the Department of Ed, but you are willing to immerse yourself with all of us, and I have appreciated that very much. So I love that you're reaching out and wanting to hear from everyone. I think that's really important.
Yeah, this call just really makes my day. I mean, I've shared a few ideas. Really, our committee is, we've done the theme and so on, and I shared a few ideas at the conference, but these ideas are so powerful, and that it's so timely because I am presenting to internal NDE tomorrow, and I have some additional, I'm going to go back and revise my session to share out and celebrate some of these really exciting things. So I hope we get to do this again.
Thanks,
Darrell,
Darrell.
thank you.
White Pine is asking, can you
Sorry, I'm not a good typer. Can you share the book readings and teaching books on Facebook without any copyright issues?
Everything that's in teaching books is covered by our license, and you are available. You can take anything you find in there and share it out any way you want on Facebook or Twitter, or if you want to do a live, whatever, it's all shareable.
Okay, thank you.
And because, I mean, I love it because it's geo-authenticated, and so when you share it, people don't have to sign in again, because a lot of our databases, rightly so, require authentication, but this one we can just share it freely, and as long as you're within Nevada IPS boundaries, you can get to it. So.
And then who was that from White Pine? Did you already share?
Oh, that was Lori.
Yeah, it was Lori Williams.
Okay.
Sure, thank you.
And then Diana put in the chat that she was just here to listen. But Diana, was there anything else you wanted to ask or share?
Oh, no, thank you. But this has been very helpful.
And where are you from? Just so we know.
Oh, sure. So I'm from a rural school in Clark County. I'm from Sandy Valley and Good Springs schools, which are 45 minutes southwest of Vegas. I'm not our librarian, but I'm here, as a listening ear for our librarian.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, we welcome everyone. Librarians like to play with everyone.
Wonderful.
I did want to just shoot one more bit of information out. Our assistant director with Washoe County Library, Joan Dallasung, she is sits on NLA and is active in the legislature, which I'm sure I'm butchering all of those formal titles because politics is not my game. However, Nevada Ledge Day, we're doing Library Day on March 4th, apparently, which happens to fall right smack dab in the middle of our Nevada Reading Week. So stay tuned for more information on that. And I know Joan will be sending out some information, and Sue Lynn, of course, will be well aware of that, but I'll forward anything out that has more information about that. Unless someone on this call knows more about it, that's just my simple Joan plug for now.
That covers it very well. If you aren't aware, session is in session right now. It started February 1st, and they allocate funds for the legislature allocates funds for the state library for many, many things, including collection development. There are several bill draft requests that impact public and school libraries. I don't have all the details on that, but Joan does, and it requires getting teacher librarians in Washoe and Clark County. And then the Department of Ed has something in the works that will get all school students public library cards automatically, which is something Washoe has been able to do, but it apparently is way more complicated in terms of interactions with other school districts and other public libraries. So that's in the works, and that would be wonderful. But Library Legislative Day is usually a really big thing where all the library staff come to the Capitol, to Carson City. There's a big lunch. You chat with your local elected officials and tell them how library funding works, you know, on the ground in the weeds, how it really, really works. Because, you know, they're voting for these things and they don't actually have first person experience with the impact. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. So that's good. I have no idea how it's going to work virtually. Just no idea, because a lot of this is talking to people. But anyway, that's Ledge Day. Joan has something figured out. She'll figure it out, and it will be great.
So stand by on that.
Yes. Is there anything else? I was happy to host this. This is wonderful. We can do this whenever you want, as often as you want.
This was good, and it's always good to see everybody.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.